Yo, what's going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clockmaster. Today we're here to talk about Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. I'm gonna actually keep this review pretty strict to the point. I actually saw this movie a week ago, so I had some time to digest this, got a chance to go see it with some other critics. You're hearing different thoughts of different people and how they felt about the movie, but I figured I would rather just, like, think about it for a little bit, and then obviously the embargo is today, so here are my thoughts on the film. But before we get into that, guys, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more movie reviews from me, reactions, movie news updates, show updates, etc. All right, Professor Albus Dumbledore knows the powerful dark wizard Gellert Grindelwald is moving to seize control of the wizarding world. Unable to stop him alone, he entrusts megazoologist Newt Scamander to lead an intrepid team of wizards, witches, and one brave muggle baker on a dangerous mission where they encounter old and new beasts and clash with Grindelwald's growing legion of followers. All right, guys, that's just the basic synopsis of the film. This is the third film in the Fantastic Beasts franchise in the set of movies. I was about to say trilogy, but it's supposed to be like 6 of these. So it's the third installment. So I will just get this out the way, guys. When it comes to the wizarding world and it comes to Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts, it's either you're with it or you're not. Like, it's either you're really into the Fantastic Beasts world and you're into that section of the wizarding world, or you're just not, quite frankly. Because I mean, these films aren't for everyone. There's a lot of technical things, a lot of story building stuff, and obviously the biggest elephant in the room with having Mads Mikkelsen, or Mads Mikkelsen. I gotta research how to actually really pronounce this guy's name. Hold on.
Mads Mikkelsen, Iron Man, Kate Blanchett, Ragnarok, as I mentioned, Mads Mikkelsen and Doctor Strange. Team with powerhouse performances by Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy.
Okay, so apparently it's Mess Mikkelsen. Mess. Sheesh. Anyways, the big elephant in the room with Johnny Depp no longer being attached to his character, getting replaced with Mads Mikkelsen. Honestly, he's a fantastic actor, and if they had to replace it with anybody else, it would be him. I'm not going to use this video to talk about everything concerning Johnny Depp and that whole situation with Amber Heard. That's not what this video is about. But we do have to address it, because that is a lot of people's concerns, is how is his performance in this film as Grindelwald, and is he good, and does he fill in those shoes? So I'm gonna just actually shed some light on that. Me personally, man, I really love Johnny Depp's performance as Grindelwald in the first the first one and the second one. Especially in the second one, I actually really enjoyed his performance as Grindelwald. I think we mainly see, because we only saw Grindelwald at the end of the first one, and then we saw, because it was Colin Farrell, and then Johnny Depp as Grindelwald in the second half or the back half of the first movie, and then Grindelwald in the second one, so Crowns of Grindelwald, right? So I really enjoyed his performance as Grindelwald. He was such a convincing villain, and I really loved everything that he did with it. You can tell he put a lot into it. So with Mikkelsen coming into the role now, there's already a lot of expectations for that, and I will say I liked how he actually handled the character. His interpretation of the character was slightly different, and I know that may be good and bad for some people, but it was slightly different than Johnny Depp's performance of the character. I mean, I don't think anything personally can live up to that. I tried to just judge it on its own merits, just basically judge the actor and how he decides to play Grindelwald, and he was actually, in my opinion, a very good Grindelwald, and he did a good job. Like the relationship that was on screen with him and Jude Law, and him as Grindelwald, I bought it. It's just visually, obviously it took some adjustment, because just rewatching the other two movies and coming into this, it was just like, okay, this is a completely different vibe, 2 different characters. It feels like it initially felt like 2 different characters, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. But then watching the rest of it, I was like, okay, I can see where this is going with that. So me personally, I was able to adjust to the new actor, and obviously again, Mads Mikkelsen is a great actor, and I loved him in Doctor Strange. I loved him in Rogue One. I forgot what other stuff I've seen him in, but he's really good. So if there's anybody you had to replace Johnny Depp with, it's definitely him. But I wanted to address that, guys. Like I said, I'm not here to talk about that whole situation about that. I'm just here to address the performance and his interpretation of Grindelwald. So did I actually like the movie? I actually really enjoyed it a lot more than the second one. I think the first one, a lot of people that I spoke to didn't really like the first one, and they were okay with the second one. some people that I spoke to that night, that were in the theater, that was in the, you know, the press room with me, talking to me. They obviously, we didn't share too much details with each other, but they were just like, yeah, I liked it. So me personally, I did enjoy this a lot more than the second one. And as I said in the beginning, it's either you're gonna be really with the Wizarding World stuff or you're not. If you're not into the Wizarding World stuff, you're not gonna like it. But I do think that the story overall in this film was a lot better than the second movie. I mean, we had a really good, and again, this is a continuation from that, but I felt that a lot of the chemistry and a lot of the on-screen moments were a lot better. The action sequences were really amazing. Like, they had some really good action sequences in this, and I personally really enjoyed it. I love what they did, expanding the story and clearing up some questions that we had in the second movie. So for those who watched the second one and got to the end, we had a lot of questions concerning, you know, what's going on with, and obviously it's called The Secrets of Dumbledore, so a lot gets answered in this film. Whether you like how they handle those questions or not, you guys are gonna have to let me know that in the comment section down below. But I personally thought that the movie overall was leaps and bounds better than the second one. I didn't hate the second one at all because I don't really have a personal huge attachment to the Wizarding World. I like the Wizarding World, and but I didn't grow up reading the Harry Potter books and stuff like that, so I don't have a huge deep connection, childhood connection to the story like a lot of people do. I just really like the world, and I love the Wizarding World, and I love the stories. Proud Ravenclaw over here, okay? I love it. I dig it. So you know, personally, you're not going to see me getting super triggered over certain things, but as a film, I felt that it you know, it worked. The music was really good enough, and certain characters like Newt, like, you know, we get to see a little bit more of Newt in this movie because I feel like in the last one we just kind of like forgot all about him. But I feel like everyone had a pretty much good amount of screen time. Some new characters as well that really worked with everyone else, and they expand the story in a way that I felt was really interesting. I'll have to see what happens or where they're gonna go in the next what, three movies or 2 movies that's coming out next, and see what they do with that. But yeah, no, it was really good, man. And you know, again, there was maybe, what, I can think 2 or 3 moments in the film that was a little bit draggy and slow and maybe a little bit confusing, but then they address certain things, for especially if you haven't seen these movies in years. Like, you know, they the way how they get into the story, because they pretty much jump into the story right away, but the way that they get into the story, they kind of, like, you know, bring back certain memories of certain things that happened in the last film. So I mean, overall, guys, I think this, I'm personally at the, like, at a 6.7, I don't know, 6.57 out of 10, just because this movie was a lot better than the second one. It flows a lot better. The story was really good. We got to see some new locations, some awesome locations. The CGI, the script was good, the fight choreography was good, cinematography was all obviously good, and obviously it's called Fantastic Beasts, so we got some beasts in there, and that was really good, and I like what they did with certain things with that. Obviously the first one is the most fantastic beastie of all of these. Like, as the movie keeps going on, you know, because you see the logo, it says like Fantastic Beasts, it's super slow, and then the Secrets of Dumbledore is kind of big. So yes, this is Dumbledore heavy in terms of you know, obviously some secrets of Dumbledore, and obviously addressing things with Credence at the end of I mean, I'm about to say season 2, Jesus. Addressing things with Credence at the end of the second film, and getting into those, that, you know, that big shocker moment that we all got at the end of the second movie. But overall, man, I think this is gonna be a fun movie for Wizarding World fans who have been waiting for this film and want to watch this with their friends and stuff. I saw this with a critic crowd, so everyone's all boring and quiet. That's there is a pro and a con going to a critic screening early, because you get to see the film early, you get a chance to think about it and prepare a review. But some people, sometimes, you know, when it doesn't beat a fan experience. You know, you go with hardcore fans and you watch, and then everyone's like, yeah, that's great. That's not necessarily a comment on the film, that's just a comment on my experience watching the film. But it doesn't take away from the movie though, because I personally enjoyed it regardless of what setting I was in. And I think it's great, man. I think you guys are gonna enjoy this one. So yeah, that's it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's enough information here for me to give you guys. yeah, man, I feel like I kind of like lost myself a little bit there at that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Clogmaster out.